Alright people, there it is. I went and bought myself a Hayabusa sandrail. Woo boy. So, I've owned sandrails before. I have a Polaris Razor, but I've never had a Hayabusa powered sandrail. So, I gotta learn how to deal with that guy right there. The whole sprocket system, the transmission, engine. So that should be pretty interesting. Alright, so I got a pretty good deal on this thing. $7,500 for what looks like a pretty solid little sandrail. A-arm suspension, Fox shocks. It's all chromed out. CNC pedal assembly. Looks like beard seats, crow seat belts. Not too bad. Light bar up top. Got paddle tires. Now he doesn't have wheels for the fronts, so I'm gonna have to figure something out there. He's got these little street tires on it. And then one of these paddle tires is on backwards. So I'll have to screw around with that. Maybe tomorrow get those swapped around so they're both going the right direction. I'm not sure what the deal is there. But anyways, let's make some room in the garage. I'll get this guy inside and we can start playing with it. In the garage. I tried to film that, but my battery on my other camera died. See how she looks next to the Razor. Woohoo! Quite a bit lower. She's gonna be real wide once I put those paddle tires on it. It's got these tiny little dirt tires on it now. It's got a pretty basic switch box here. Lights. This is the big light up top. And then of course this is the start and the fan. So that's all off. Fan on and then kick it over one more time to start it. It's got sequential gearbox, of course, being a street bike engine. Just bang that guy forward and backwards. Super sensitive clutch. Wonder what size this master cylinder is. I know they come in normally two sizes, a 3/4 and a 5/8. If I switch it to a 5/8, if it's a 3/4, it might make it a little bit smoother pull on the pedal. Tiny little steering box, came with a cooler. Guy gave me some spray paint. He said this is about a perfect match for the paint color. That'll come in handy as I start chopping into this guy. Little light bar. Rink-a-dink little rear light. The guy said this thing was street legal. It's not street legal. There is no brake lights. That's just a tiny little running light for the tail light. But hey, it's Arizona street legal. That's what he told me. They don't do any inspections here in Arizona. Gas tanks down there. Pretty clean engine. Wonder if it was turboed at one point. It's got this big air box on it. Generally, you see something like that when it has a turbo forcing air inside there, but don't know. The guy who had it before me said he'd never heard of a turbo being on there, but you never know. Tiny little oil cooler down there. It's got a battery hiding back here. Disc brake, single disc brake on the whole machine. The brakes kind of suck. I'm probably going to maybe scuff up that rotor. It probably got oil and grease on it at one point. They just feel like their brakes are all gummed up. So that'll be another little project I do. These wheels look like crap, so gotta fix that. Gonna be a little bit of rattle can paint job on them, I'm sure. And then I'll probably want to do a roof at some point. You know, some of those days out in Yuma, they get pretty hot. A roof would be nice. Keep some of the sun off of you. But yeah, all in all, I'd say it's in pretty decent shape. Should be a fun little project. And I think $7,500 is not a bad deal for a cool little car like this. I mean, engine seems solid. I took it on a pretty long test drive. Got to go off-road with it. That's why it's all dirty. The guy had it like immaculately clean. I went and took it on these trails out by his house, and I was doing donuts and drifting it sideways, and yeah, I was sold. The thing is pretty sweet. It's tiny. I mean, it's about the same wheelbase as my Razor, but the guy said it weighs about 1,300 pounds, which I think the Razor stock weighs somewhere around like 1,500, 1,600 pounds, and then I got all kinds of heavy-duty equipment on it. Heavy-duty roll cage, bigger seats, toolbox, heavy-duty arms, bumper, all kinds of junk. So it's got to be up there, 1,600, 1,700 pounds. I don't know. If someone has a good idea how much that Razor weighs, let me know. But I was told this thing is around 1,300 pounds. 1,350, I think, is what the guy told me. Now we'll see. Maybe I'll find a time to put it on a scale. I think this engine, from what I saw on Wikipedia, is a Gen 1 Hayabusa engine. Supposedly makes, I think it's 174 horsepower. So 174 horsepower, direct drive, so no CVT like the Razor has. So should be better power transfer to the ground than the Razor, and then a lot more horsepower. My Razor is about, I think these are like 106 at the engine. I've heard people say down to the ground you're looking at more like 60 or 70 horsepower to the ground. So I don't know, 60 or 70 horsepower. You know, this guy, even if he said it was like 120 horsepower to the ground, 500 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds lighter, it should be pretty sporty. So I'm excited. So just to show you how much lighter this is than a Razor, literally pick it up 6 inches probably off the ground, 4 inches off the ground, no problem. We'll see how the suspension does. Shocks aren't anything special. They're just 2.0s, Fox, all the way around. Dorky yellow springs, but I guess that kind of matches some of the rest of the accents in the car. Probably have to go through, recharge them, rebuild them. I think this car was built in 2012, I think is what it was. So they're good, 7 years old. Probably have never been rebuilt. So it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to rebuild them. I want to get a couple of rides on them first, though, and find out if I want to revalve them. Alright, I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up part 1 of this Hayabusa sandrail introduction. I got plenty of work to do on this new project of mine. I'm eager to get started. So I think we'll end it here. Got a lot to do. Going to be exciting. Make sure you guys subscribe so that way you can get notifications when I post new videos. I'm planning on taking this guy, both of these, actually, to the sand dunes in about a month. Glamis. We're going to be camping up there. So we'll have a little bit of work to do on it. Take it out there, have some fun, and I'll keep posting videos. Alright, thanks.